Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. This Vinyasa will be primarily focusing on twists. We'll be building a lot of heat in the body. We'll be opening up our shoulders and building balance and strength and flexibility. If you have a block, have it handy, and we will be starting the Vinyasa with some shoulder flossing just to open up our shoulders so we can bind and twist better. So if you have a yoga strap, or if you have a towel or a belt or something that you can hold tight on both ends, you can use that. And other than that, we just need you and your mat and some space. Whenever you're ready, I'll meet you on the mat. We'll start with bringing our sit bones on our heels. The tops of our feet are firmly planted on the mat and your knees are hip distance wide. If this feels painful or if this does not feel nice in your body, you can come all the way to seated, or you can do this even standing. You bring your yoga strap or the towel or the belt that you're using. Hold it on both ends tight. Adjust your grip. What we are looking for here is to be able to bring the yoga strap all the way to the back. So bring it over your head and adjust your grip. It depends on how tight your shoulders are. Once you are done with that, hold it there, keep it tight. There should be no slack in your yoga strap. Take a deep in breath, and out breath, bring it up and above your head and to the back. Every out breath, the yoga strap moves up and over your head and comes to the front, goes to the back. Do that a couple of times at the pace of your breath. Come back to the front. This time bring your right hand up and over your head. Go all the way across your back and come back to the front. And alternate sides. Left hand goes up and over your head, all the way through the back and come back to the front. Repeat this on both sides at least 3 times. This helps in opening up of your side body, your lat muscles. These shoulder flossings are great if you sit for a long time in front of your devices, or if you're driving for a long time, or we just generally don't move our shoulder joint in all these directions, and it's beneficial to keep those muscles healthy. Once you are done, put it aside, come to all fours. Make sure that your palms are directly underneath your shoulders and the tops of your feet are firmly planted on the ground. Engage your core, tuck your tailbone. We'll take a few rounds of cat and cows. In breath, drop your belly, lift your chest. Out breath, tuck your tailbone, round your back. Shoulder blades are moving away from each other. Go at the pace of your breath. Every exhale, round your back. Shoulder blades are moving away from each other. Every in breath, drop your belly and the chest moves through your hands. Out breath, shoulder blades move away from each other. 2 more. Last one. Come back to neutral spine. Extend your right leg, point your toes, extend your left hand. Make sure that you're squaring your hips down onto the mat and you're squeezing your inner thighs. Your hips will tend to open up to the side. Avoid that. Work towards squaring it down onto the mat. Next out breath, tap your fingertips and your toes down onto the ground. Lift it up and take a crunch underneath your body. Extend, tap, lift and crunch. 3 more. Extend, tap, lift and crunch. Keep your core engaged the whole time and square your hips down onto the mat. Come back to neutral spine. Bring your left palm back down onto the mat. Right toes come on the outside of your left hip. Bring your gaze towards your right toes. So you're making this long C shape with your spine. Feel a nice opening in your right side body. Take a deep breath. Exhale, draw a big rainbow and bring your right toes to tap on the outside of your right hip. Next exhale, bring it back onto the outside of your left hip. 3 more. Every exhale, draw a big rainbow. Bring it back to the outside of your left hip. Every time it comes on the outside of the left hip, bring your gaze there, so you're stretching your spinal cord. This time when you come on the outside of your right hip, flex your right foot, lift it hip height. You can stay here holding it there, or if you want to add on to it, every exhale you can pulse it up. Let's for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Come back to center. Take a deep inhale and an exhale. Adjust your stance. Next breath, take a cat and cow. Come back to neutral spine. Extend your left foot. Point your left toes. Reach through your left toes. Make your leg grow longer and reach through your right fingertips. Next out breath, tap with your fingertips and your toes. Lift up, take a crunch. Extend, tap, lift up, crunch. Keep your core active and hips are facing down towards the mat. One last. Back to neutral spine. Bring your right palm down onto the mat. Left toes come on the outside of your right hip. Bring your gaze towards your extended leg, making a long C shape with your spine. Next out breath, draw a big rainbow. Toes come to touch on the outside of your left hip. Every exhale, keep drawing your rainbows, and every time you bring your foot to tap on the outside of your right hip, bring your gaze towards your extended side. Next time it comes outside on your left hip, flex your left foot, lift your left leg to hip height. Stay here or pulse it for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back to neutral spine and take a breath. Extend your left hand all the way forward. Thread your right hand underneath your left. Bring your right shoulders down onto the mat. Take a shoulder stretch. You can either stay here, you can come up on the fingertips of your left hand, or you can bring your left elbow down onto the mat. If you feel stable here, you can add on to this. Slowly try and extend your left leg. Don't open your hips. Work towards squaring your hips down onto the mat. Squeeze your inner thighs. That will help you balance and not roll over like a roly-poly. And if you feel stable here, point your left toes and lift it up. Breathe into your belly and keep your belly engaged. Keep reaching through your back toes. Bring it back down onto the mat and come back to all fours. Take a deep breath. Lift your left leg up. Your left knee is bent. Reach for your left foot with your right hand. Open your right shoulder towards the longest side of the mat. Kick your foot into your hand for a shoulder opener. Come back to your neutral spine. We'll take that shoulder stretch on the other side. Extend your right hand forward. You can either stay up on the fingertips or bring your right elbow down onto the mat. Bring your left shoulder down onto the mat and stay here. If you feel stable enough, engage your core and play with straightening your right leg. If this feels good, square your hips and slowly lift your right foot off the mat, point your toes. Bring your knee back down onto the mat. Come on to all fours. Adjust your stance. Come back to your neutral spine. Lift your right leg up. Keep the bend at your knee. Reach for your right foot. Open your left shoulder towards the mat, longest side of the mat, and kick into your foot. Come back to all fours. Bring your palms a handprint forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips off the mat. Coming into your first downward facing dog. You can pedal your feet, take any movement that feels nice here. Walk your feet slightly wider than hip distance and bring your left palm to grab hold of your right ankle. Bend at your elbow and bring your gaze towards the sky through your right armpit. Keep pushing the mat away from you with your right hand. Back to center. Right hand grabs on the outside of your left ankle. Keep the bend in your right elbow and look towards the sky through your left armpit. Come back to the center and shift forward. Come into a hovering tabletop. Hold it for 3 breaths. Back to downward dog. Walk your feet slightly away from each other. Take a twist, downward dog twist on your right side. Back to center. Twist on your left side. Back to center. Shift your weight forward into a plank. Bring your knees to hover for 3 count. 3, 2, and 1. Back to your downward facing dog. We'll do one more of that. Take a downward dog twist onto your right. Come back to center. Downward dog twist onto your left. Come back to center. Come into your plank. Hover in your tabletop. 1, 2, 3. Back to your downward facing dog. Walk your palms all the way back to your feet. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Come back halfway. Place the tops of your palms down on the mat. You can bend your knees as much as needed. Bring your chest to touch the tops of your thighs. Fold forward. If this feels comfortable, slide your palms underneath your feet and slowly start shifting your weight forward onto the ball mounts of your feet and start straightening your legs and come into a forward fold. Sit in your chair pose. Bring that connection back between your chest and the tops of your thigh. Shift your weight forward onto the ball mounts of your feet and slowly start straightening your leg again. Fold forward. Open your hips up towards the sky. Sit back in your chair. Bring that connection back and keep that connection throughout your forward fold. So extend your leg only as far as you can go, shifting your weight onto the ball mounts of your feet. Release your hands from underneath your feet. Bring your right hand directly underneath your face. Bend your right leg and take a twist. And don't eat your hair. Switch sides, twist on your left side. Come back to the center. Walk into your plank. Flow through your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. All the way back. Downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Next breath, lift your right leg up. Square your hips to the mat. Squeeze your inner thighs. Bend your knee and stack your hips. Open it towards the longest side of the mat. Back of your neck is long and work your heel towards the glutes and keep lifting the knee towards the sky. Come back to the center. Bring your right knee into your chest. Place your right foot in between your palm. Reach through your back heel. Grow tall through the crown of your head. Open up, easy twist. Back leg is active. Take a breath here. Engage your core. Squeeze your inner thigh. Reach through your extended hand and transition into a twisted crescent lunge. Bring your right hand on top of your left leg to deepen your twist, completely optional. Back to your easy twist. Reach through your right hand towards the ceiling. Press through your right heel. Come back into a crescent twist. Come back into your easy twist. Place your right hand on the inside of your right foot. Lizard lunge. Reach through your back heel. Either stay up here or bring the forearms down onto the mat. You should feel the heat building up in your body now. Back to your palms and roll on to the knife edge side of both your feet. Extend your right hand towards the back edge side of the mat. Feel a nice stretch on your left side body. Back to your lizard lunge. Step back into your plank. Flow through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog. All the way back, downward facing dog. Next breath, lift your left leg up. Point your toes. Squeeze your inner thighs. Bend your left knee. Stack your hips. Open them towards the longest side of the mat. Come back to center. Bring your left knee into your chest. Place the left foot between your hands. Grow tall through the crown of your head. Press through your back heel. Open up, easy twist. Your back leg is active. Squeeze your inner thighs. Reach through your top hand and transition into a twisted crescent. You have an option to deepen your twist here or stay with your arms out in a T. Back to your easy twist and exhale into your twisted crescent. Lot of balance, lot of core work. Back to your easy twist. One more time into your twisted crescent. Bring both hands on the inside of your left foot. Lizard lunge. Oh, optional to come down on your forearms to deepen your lunge. Back up on your palms. Roll onto the knife edge side of both your feet. Take a side body stretch. Back into your lunge. Step back into your plank. Flow through chaturanga. Upward facing dog. All the way back. Downward facing dog. Bring your feet slightly wider than hip distance. We'll take the downward dog twist. Bring your left palm to hold your right ankle, twist to your right side, back to center, right palm to hold your left ankle, bend at your elbow, deepen your twist, back to center. Ooh, my hair. Come back into your downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up, point your toes, squeeze your inner thighs, bend your right knee, place your right foot in between the palms. Arms come alongside your ear, high crescent lunge. Squeeze, keep squeezing your inner thighs and square your hips to the front edge of the mat. You can leave your arms alongside your ears, bring your arms to your chest, optional. Extend both your legs, pop your back foot slightly closer, plant your left foot down on the mat. You have an option to lift your right toes off the mat, flex your right foot, bend at your hips, come into your pyramid. You can leave your right foot firmly planted on the mat too. Pyramid, halfway lift, plant your right foot, take a pyramid twist, extend your right hand towards the sky, take a twist. Come back to your pyramid, fold forward, halfway lift, place your right hand directly underneath your face, shift your weight slightly forward. This is completely optional. You can take another pyramid twist or try playing with a twisted half moon. Plant your back foot down on the mat, come back into your crescent lunge. Bring your palms to your chest, step forward into your one-legged Tadasana. Grab hold on the outside of your left foot with your right hand, standing twist. Flow back through your warrior three, high crescent lunge. Extend both your legs, pop the back foot onto the mat, fold forward into your pyramid. Optional to keep your right foot flexed, deepening your hamstring stretch. Plant your right foot, left palm directly underneath your face, right hand extends towards the sky, twist. Back to pyramid. Shift your weight forward, play with lifting left foot off the mat, twisted half moon, optional, or stay with twisted pyramid. Crescent lunge. Bring your palms to the chest, float into warrior three. One-legged Tadasana. Grab hold on the outside of your left foot, extend your left leg, take a twist. Flow back through warrior three. Plant your back foot down on the mat, flow through Vinyasa. Optional for one-legged Chaturanga, upward facing dog, all the way back, downward facing dog. Extend left leg up, three-legged dog, left knee bends, frame your left foot, high crescent lunge. Pop your back foot, extend both your legs, optional to flex your left foot, fold forward from your hips into pyramid. Halfway lift, plant your left foot, extend left hand towards the sky, twist. Back to pyramid. Shift your weight slowly forward, plant your right hand directly underneath your face. Left hand extends towards the sky, float your right foot, twisted half moon. This is completely optional. You can come back to your twisted pyramid too. Back to high crescent lunge. Ooh, I'm shaky. Palms to your chest, float into warrior 3. One-legged Tadasana. Grab hold on the outside of your right foot with your left hand. Extend your right leg. Take a standing twist. Back through warrior 3. High crescent lunge. Pop your back foot down onto the mat. Fold into pyramid. Right hand on directly underneath the face. Left hand towards the sky. Twist. Back to pyramid. Float into a twisted half moon. Back to your high crescent lunge. If I don't fall, bring the palms to the chest, float into warrior 3. One-legged Tadasana. Grab hold on the outside of your right foot with your left hand. Take a twist. Back through warrior 3. High crescent lunge. Plant the palms down on the mat. Float through Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. All the way back. Downward facing dog. Float your right leg up. Three-legged dog. Bend your right knee. Frame the right foot. Runner's lunge. Plant your back foot down on the mat. Make sure that your right heel and your left arch are in line with each other. Windmill your arms, sink into your hips. Warrior 2. Flip your right palm towards the sky. Reverse your warrior. Optional to bring your left hand behind your back towards your right thigh. Right palm comes on the inside of the right leg or you can rest it on your right thigh. Left arm extends towards the sky, side angle. Either stay here or bring your top arm in line with your ears. Bring the gaze down onto the mat. Press through the ball mount of your right foot. Extend your right leg, triangle. Keep rotating your top shoulder towards the sky. Reverse your triangle. Bring your palms to your chest. Bring your feet parallel and open your toes out, heels in, sink into your goddess. Take a deep breath, engage your core, bring your palms behind your head, bring your left elbow to touch your left thigh, back to center, right elbow to touch your right thigh, back to center. We'll take 5 more on each side. Every exhale, take a lateral side body stretch, working our love handles. I like that name, love handles. Oh, my legs are shaky. Come back to center. Bring your palms to your chest, extend both your legs. Feet come parallel to each other. Sink your hips towards your left heel. Bending your left leg. Back to center. Side lunge towards your right side. Back to center. Left. Back to center. Right. This time when you sink into your right side, flex your left foot. Sink all the way down, Skandasana. Optional to bind here in your Skandasana. Bring both palms on the back of the mat. Come into a low lunge. Bring your left shin parallel to the short edge. Sink your hips down. Work your right hip down towards the mat. Keep your left foot flexed. Bend your back leg. Reach for your back foot with your left hand this time and kick into your palm to open up your left shoulder towards the longest side of the mat. Don't sink into your right hand. Keep pushing the mat away from you. Release. Step back, plank pose. Flow through your chaturanga. Upward facing dog. All the way back, downward facing dog. Left leg up, three-legged dog. Plant your left foot in between your palms. Plant the back foot down on the mat. Make sure that your alignment is correct. Windmill your arms. Open up warrior two. Keep sinking into your hips. Reverse your warrior. Optional to bring your right hand behind your back towards your left thigh. Left palm comes on the inside of your left foot. Side angle. You can bring your top hand alongside your ears. Push through the ball mount of your left foot, transition triangle. Keep rotating your top shoulder towards the sky. Reverse your triangle. Palms come to the chest. Sink into your goddess. Heels come in, toes go out. Take a breath. Bring your palms behind your head. This time bring your right elbow towards your right thigh first, left elbow towards the left thigh. Every exhale, dip towards your side. 3 more on each side at the pace of your breath. Back to center, palms to the chest. Extend both your leg. Feet are parallel now. Sink your hips towards your right heel, bending your right leg. Back to center, left heel. Back to center, right, left. This time when you sink towards your right heel, flex your left foot, sink all the way down, Skandasana. Optional to take a bind. Bring both palms towards the front edge of the mat, low lunge. Right shin comes parallel to the short edge of the mat. Sink your hips down. Untuck your back toes, pigeon. You work towards bringing your left hip down towards the mat. Bend your back foot. Reach for your left feet with right hand. Rotate open your shoulders towards the longest side of the mat. Kick your feet into your hand. Your left hand is pushing the mat away from you, so you're growing tall in your torso. Release. Bring both your sit bones down on the mat. Sweep your left leg forward. Extend your left leg. Right foot comes on the outside of the left thigh. Plant your foot firmly down on the mat. Grow tall in your torso. Square your chest and your hips towards the front edge of the mat. Wrap your left hand around your right knee. Open your chest towards the longest side. Seated twist. Back to center. Right foot comes on the inside of the left inner thigh. Square back towards the front edge of the mat. Tall in your torso. Hinge from your hips. Fold forward. Pay attention to hinging from your hips. You should feel growing tall in your lower back. Come back up. Switch sides. Extend right leg. Bring your left foot on the outside of your right thigh. Both your sit bones are down on the mat. Sit tall. Wrap your right hand around your left knee. Open your chest towards the longest side. release. Left foot comes on to the right inner thigh, square back to your mat. Grow tall in your torso, hinge from your hips, fold forward. Keep your right foot flexed the whole time. Make sure that the crown of your head is reaching forward, so the back of your neck is long. Come all the way back up. Plant both your feet down onto the mat. You can either hold on the back of your thighs, lift your feet off the mat, bring your shin in line with your knees, extend your hands coming into a boat pose. You can either stay here or extend both your legs, pointing your toes. Bend your knees, come back to the center and all the way down onto the mat. And we'll end our practice with the back bend. Like always, of course. You can choose to just bridge up. If you're choosing to bridge up or if you're choosing your wheel pose, make sure that your heels are hip distance apart. You're pressing down through your heels, squeezing your glutes and tucking your tailbone and lifting your hips up towards the sky. Keep your glutes squeezing and keep your tailbone tucked. Press through your heels down onto the mat. If you want to transition into your wheel pose, bring your palms on the outside of your ears. And next out breath, push your palms into the mat, lift up. Roll all the way back down onto the mat. Bring your palms out into a T. And take a breath. Bring your palms out into a T. Lift your heels off the mat so your knees are directly stacked over your hips and ankles are in line with your knees. Glue your knees and your feet together. Every exhale, drop your knees on the outside of left hip, back to center. Drop it on the outside of your right hip. Make sure that both your shoulder blades are glued onto the mat so your chest is continuously opening towards the sky. You can choose to turn in the opposite direction to your knees. Back to center. This time hug your knees into your chest. Roll from side to side just to release your back. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. I'm sweating profusely and I hope you are too, and I hope that was a fun practice for you guys. End our practice in Shavasana. Take a few minutes, close your eyes, breathe, show gratitude towards your body. Consolidate your practice. That was a really fun practice. I could feel the heat building up in my body. I hope you did too. And it was a great practice to build up strength in the body, build flexibility, tone your muscles and twist and wind. So that was a good practice. Please do consider subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate your support. And I will see you next week on the mat. And until then, have a beautiful time.